looking forward to this conversation. We're going to be talking about electric vehicles, but particularly electric motorcycles with Edward Amanambu, who of course is the head of operations for energy at Spiro. Edward, thank you so much for talking to our risers. Look, I wanted to ask you about manufacturing in Nigeria. For Spiro, which, remind me, is an Indian company?
Yeah, it's an Indian company.
And these motorcycles, are they manufactured or assembled in Nigeria? Tell us about where that takes place.
The Spiro bikes are built for Africa. The terrain and the topography from Kenya to Uganda, so many data being collected to build these machines just to fit for Africa. We have our production and assembly plants in Kenya and also in Nigeria.
Fantastic. Now, this is a wider conversation now about what it would take to manufacture in Nigeria, because there are other players in the mobility sector, from vehicles to motorcycles, but it's mostly assembly. So what's the challenge? What would it take?
I think there are so many factors to consider. Maybe cost of material, cost of production, energy usage for powering the assembly units. These are things you have to consider, and also compare it to what you have in other countries. With respect to,
talk to us about these swap stations. So after a while, you're able to swap out your battery for these?
Yes, the swap station is just, as I said, swap means just like a filling station, a rider comes in with depleted battery and he exchanges the battery with a fully charged battery. So what we charge is based on SOC billing, meaning the battery you come with, and when we exchange, for example, you come with 60% and we give you 100%, so we're charging you for that 40% SOC, and that's just a swap, yes.
Now, in terms of, let's see this charger. This is the thing. Whenever we talk about electric vehicles and the ability to scale, everybody says there's no lights. I mean, there was a signing ceremony here with an energy company, and we're talking to a CEO of an energy company in Zimbabwe. I was talking about how Zimbabwe doesn't have light. Talk about how Nigeria doesn't have 24/7 power. So let's talk about the charger. You have the charger here. This can just be, how long does it take to charge this bike?
For the battery, it takes 3 hours to charge the batteries.
Okay, so let's take a look at the charger.
Okay, this is the charger. This is a 15 amp charger that you can charge from home, right? And aside from this, we also have like the swap station too. Then we also have the fast charging system too that you can see in the malls. Yeah. Now, for example, when you're going on the street, you just want to pick up some coffee, you could just park and just charge. Yeah. So because of the power issue, we want to give convenience to our users across. This is it. We have over 33,000 users across in Africa using our Ecom series right now and our bikes. So what we did was to make sure that you have your own charger. Then we also have the swap stations and also fast charging systems. Yeah.
Now, what kind of, and this is like I think I want to see the end here. It's almost like charging your it's just like charging your phone. You just plug it in and charge. So how much, what is the range that you can get? Because another thing, when people talk about electric vehicles is and charging stations, it's like we need more charging infrastructure. But that's for cars. I guess with a bike it's different because you can just plug into it and charge. What is the range? How much range can you get on one charge?
It depends on the series, right? For the collectibles, which is a premium one, you have about 250 range for a fully charged battery.
That's 250 kilometers?
Kilometers, yes. Yeah. For a fully charged batteries. For the Alpha, you have 150 range for a fully charged battery. Yeah. But for the Ecom M1 and M2, you have between 80 and 100 kilometer range.
Now, this is a premium model, right? So yeah, so there's a screen. Talk to us about what the screen does.
It's an AI-enabled screen, touch screen, where you could play your music, connect to YouTube. You could also have your Google navigation where you're going to. Then you can also watch videos if you want to.
But not while you're riding, obviously.
Yes, maybe when you're just chilling, you can watch it. Then you have camera system. And the good thing about the Spiro mobility bikes, it's not about the bikes, it's about the technology behind the bike. Yeah. This is fully IoT enabled, meaning the IoT enabled for the bikes and also the battery.
For our viewers, Internet of Things, right?
Yes, Internet of Things is in the bike and also the batteries, meaning we can check the parameters of the batteries anywhere you are. We can also immobilize the bike anywhere. Then it also has a geofencing application that comes with it, meaning that you can geofence your bike, maybe within Abuja range. You don't want it to pass Kubwa. When it goes beyond Kubwa, it shuts down. So, and the good thing about it, again, we have this data analytics that comes with it. Rider behavior, speeding. In terms of, for example, when it goes to the commercial ones, most people complain that they see their riders taking their bikes away. We can track the bike, we can immobilize the bike, then we can also get the rider behavior, where they stop, how they move, how their speed limits. This can be controlled from the back end.
Now, in terms of maintenance of these bikes, there's the narrative that electric vehicles are easier to maintain because they have less parts. So talk about the whole maintaining this and keeping it going.
Okay. For the maintenance parts, because we always say compared to the ICE bike, which is a fuel bike, most people will say the saving comes from the fuel alone. The saving from the fuel is just between 30 to 35%, but when it comes to the maintenance, it's almost close to 60%. This bike doesn't have carburetor. You're not changing your oils. You're not changing piston and rings. You're not changing oil filter. So you're not spending at all. All you just need to do is to polish your chain and socket, and that's it, and just change your brake pad. And that cost could take you almost close to 6 months before you could do that.
Final question for you. I mean, electric vehicles, there's still the whole talk around the fact that we don't have lights in Nigeria. So should we be discussing electric vehicles in Nigeria at this time, or can we do both? Can we walk and chew gum at the same time? Can we address our power problems while also scaling electric vehicles across Nigeria?
I think what we say is EV is the future, and we have to start now. From Nigeria, because when we started Nigeria operations, we had just 11 stations. Currently, I can tell you in Lagos, we have about 63 swap stations. In Abuja, we have 25 now. And we, across Kano, Ogun states, we have deployed almost close to 50 swap stations. And we are trying to see how we can get to 250 before the end of the year. Now, this is what it is. People complain about the blockers, but not providing solution. What we did is to ensure that we have in-house project that we carried out now. For example, let me give you the project that we have in-house is called an ESS system, Energy Storage System. It's built within Spiro by our team. We use our recycled batteries that their life cycles have passed. We recharge them and use them as an inverter to be able to charge our batteries. This takes between 5 hours to 7 hours when there is downtime. Then secondly now, we are also using solar panels. Our first site in Jabimo, you could see there with a fast charger and 24 racks batteries. We are powering with solar panels again. Then for the energy business, when it comes to energy, when it comes to environment, there are different ways to achieve that. We could use like 33 kVA, get an industrial area, draw your line to where you could charge those batteries, or have a hub where you could charge more batteries and deploy. We've been carrying out these operations for almost 9 months. And I tell you this, we have cut down downtime, and that's how we scale out all through the remaining states. Yes.
All right. Look, this is a very interesting. Well, finally, this is premium, right? You said that there are more. The other series that are not as expensive as this.
Yes. This is a limited edition. The main ones for the commercial ones, the ones for the market, for the Okada riders, the logistic companies, the B2Bs, the civil servants. These are the M1, M2 series. We have them in Lagos State. More than 1,000 bikes deployed. In Ogun State, about 2,000 deployed. In Cross River, in Kwara State, this is what we use, all the commercial ones use right now. And that is around the range of 1.4 million, which is durable, I'm telling you, at a good price. 1.4 million, so anyone can get this.
Almost anyone, right? Edward Amanambu, the, of course, head of operations for energy at Spiro. And by the way, thanks for talking to us here at the Afri-Exim Bank's 2025 annual meetings in the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja at the Transcorp Event Center. Technology is the future, right?
It's the future, yes. It's the future. EV is the future, yes.